Now, a coordinated series of events and actions by the government led the country to the first ever government-to-government oil deal that now puts 3 oil marketing companies at the helm of the multi-billion-shilling business. Those actions may have just led to the abandonment of a 7-year policy of open tendering system driven by the private sector. Our very own Sam Gitugu looks at the series of events even as the first consignment of oil from the new arrangement arrives at the Mombasa port tomorrow.
Since the commencement of President William Ruto's regime, the new administration has been keen on containing the shocks in the oil industry that had been hit by global pricing shifts and the rising price of the dollar, the primary international currency. In January this year, Energy and Petroleum Development Cabinet Secretary Davis Chirchir published new regulations for petroleum importation under Legal Notice No. 3 of 2023 that effectively repealed the earlier regulations of 2012. The new regulations created a new mode of procurement of oil for Kenya under a government-to-government arrangement. Still, the regulations require that importation of petroleum products be through the open tendering system. And to regularize that, Regulation 4, Sub-Regulation 3, provides that the importation of petroleum products through a government-to-government arrangement shall be deemed to have occurred through the open tendering system. Before the new regulations, oil marketing companies would competitively bid for oil importation tenders every month, the winning bidder or bidders required to procure on behalf of all other marketing companies in the country. On the 1st of March 2023, the government-to-government deals were signed. On the 3rd of March, invitations to tender for the supply of various petroleum products were closed. Successful bidders were to be informed in 2 days, meaning the 5th of March. Details as to that process are not clear. But on the 16th of March, the Ministry of Energy and Petroleum Development wrote to 3 local oil marketing companies, informing them that they had been nominated by some 3 international oil companies in Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates to be their local trading counterparts. The ministry informed Gulf Energy Limited that it had been nominated by the UAE-based Emirates National Oil Company, ENOC, for the supply of premium motor spirit, meaning petrol. Their allocated quantity being between 250,000 and 350,000 metric tons every month for 9 months. The ministry informed that Saudi Aramco from Saudi Arabia had settled for Oryx Energies Limited and Galana Oil Kenya Limited for the supply of automotive gas oil, meaning diesel, of between 160,000 and 180,000 metric tons every month for 9 months. Abu Dhabi National Oil Company also settled for Gulf Energy to receive and distribute up to 200,000 metric tons of diesel and 80,000 metric tons of jet fuel every month for 9 months. Parliamentarians in the Public Investments Committee in the energy sector questioned the reason behind settling on just 3 companies to the exclusion of 6 others.
There are now on average about 9 importers, if we look at the last 2 years, of those who have bidded in the open tender system. I can confirm that currently 3 of those oil marketing companies have been nominated by the 3 international oil companies.
Even though the regulations deem the government-to-government arrangement to be an open tender system, the identification of the local players appears to have nothing competitive.
Whether there's a procurement process, the answer is no. These are nominees of the international oil company supplying product into the country, so they are their agents. We are not in a position to be able to dictate on who they work with beyond the requirement that they nominate one who is licensed to operate in that particular space in the country by us as EPRA.
The new arrangement now raises questions of how Kenyan agencies can oversight the deal. The Public Procurement and Assets Disposal Act expressly exempts bilateral agreements from the act that governs all public procurement ventures. The MP is concerned whether the Kenyan companies had been unfairly left out in the arrangement that will now last at least 9 months, during which they will bring petroleum products to the country on credit, guaranteed by the government of Kenya, a lucrative business opportunity now limited to the 3 local companies.
In terms of whether they have been disenfranchised, the answer is no, Chair, because there is 2 fundamental shifts in terms of this government-to-government arrangement. One is that today there's an obligation by buyers in the OTS, the oil marketing companies, to pay within 5 days of the vessel landing in Mombasa, and they're required to pay in US dollar.
So far, the desire to contain the US dollar on the Kenyan economy has been cited as the main reason of the policy shift. Sam Gituko, Citizen TV,